KD for the Wealth Wells. When do you stop trading for the day? Whether you're up or down, when do you just call it quits? When do you just stop trading and take your profits and go home? Or if you're in the red, when do you just pull the plug and say enough is enough? We're going to talk about that right now. I'm going to give you 3 things to watch for, 3 metrics or KPIs you need to watch for and understand to know when to stop trading for the day. Are you ready? All right, let's get it. All right, so when do you stop trading for the day, right? Whether you're up or down, whether you've made money or not, when do you stop trading and call it quits? When do you just say enough is enough? All right, so we're going to talk about that. I'm going to try to get this done in about 10 minutes. To help you understand, I'm going to give you 3 guiding lines, 3 guideposts that I use so that I can control my trading and come out of every day green. Now, a couple of things you should do. Number 1, watch these 2 videos to give an understanding of what it takes to come out the day green. All right, these videos are going to help you understand. Go look at my channel, find them in the list there. They're going to help you understand what I'm doing to protect myself, how I'm setting up the day to understand how to come out green. But now we're talking about intraday. While the trades are being, are going on, while you're executing trades. All right. So what do you need to do whether you've made money or not? I'm going to give you 3 KPIs, indicators that I watch, metrics that I watch that tells me, all right, I need to stop trading. I need to stop, leave it alone. Or, all right, we're good to go. I can keep rolling. All right. So the first thing you want to watch for in order to know when to stop trading, whether you're up or down, is pretty obvious. It's going to be your max loss. All right. Now, this is a tricky one because I teach traders, do not watch your P&L while you're trading. I'm going to say it again. Do not watch your P&L while you're trading. It does you no good to see that account incrementally move up or down. All it does is pull at your heartstrings, and it forces fear and greed to rise to the top and control your little hand and make you get stopped out or rush a trade. So I teach traders don't watch the P&L. However, when you trade the close and throughout the day, you are going to have a sense of what you've made for the day or how far you're down for the day. All right. So it's important to understand what your max loss is. So for example, you could be trading, we'll use the futures over here as an example. You could be trading the futures and on the futures, you could say to yourself, well, I've got a 1K drawdown. And based on your contract count and the tick or point movements, what 1K is. You don't have to watch your P&L. If I've got 10 contracts on here and this thing moves down, 2 points against me or what have you, 1K is up, right? So you shouldn't have to go and glance at your P&L so much, but you should have a max stop loss. And what you should do within the max stop loss is you put your stop loss, you put a line on the screen there. Now, I like to trade with strikes or lines on the screens that represent my entries, my exits, my stops. And in my VVP indicator, you can see this indicator. This is a beautiful indicator here. You can see these lines here. These lines are used for many, many things. Now, I detail that in the breakdown video for the indicator, but one thing you can use them for are stop losses, right? So you understand, all right, what is the maximum amount I'm going to lose for the day? Now, here's the hard part. Stick to it, all right? It does you no good to slide and move your max loss and say, okay, a little more, or average down. Do you have that habit of averaging down? That's another habit. We'll talk about that in another video. It's a nasty habit. It'll crush you. All right. So stop it. But if you have that habit, you need to just cut it. All right. So max loss, understanding that you have to set a maximum amount of money that you are willing to risk and lose that day. And when you hit that amount, stop trading. That's number 3. All right. Number 2, max trade count. Have you ever considered based on your metrics. Now, I use the 90-day day trading journal, so go get it. The link will be attached here. You can come into the Discord. I know, it's a hard copy journal. All these folks use these digital journals. Let me tell you something. If they worked, then all of these folks would be good. All right? I'm not saying digital journals aren't good. I have digital methods to track as well, and we have other things coming. But I've got to get you to understand the basics. Write down your metrics, time in trade, time to target, and all the other fields that's inside of the 90-day day trading journal. Get it? It's on Amazon and our site. All right. What you're looking for is a max trade count. Now, you and I both know that a lot of times traders will trade the open, right? And they're good. So if we were to go over to SPY, let's just take a look at SPY real quick. We're going to jump over SPY. We're going to go down to the 5-minute. All right, now here's the day. Beautiful day. A lot of profits made today. We'll do that another trade recap. VVP indicators cooking on the screen still, right? And we took this move, right, today. Crazy nice move. Level to level. Yes, we took it, baby. Crazy move. All right. But you know what? Some traders only like to trade the open. They're one and done. And that's a good and a bad thing. The bad is if you take a loss, you're not familiar with trading any of this stuff, and you just get cooked for the rest of the day, and it is what it is. You just accept your L. It's good because if you're right, then you're one and done. Whatever your max trade count is, know it and stick to it. Some people say I'm at a two trade maximum, 3 trade maximum. Myself personally, I am 4 to 6 trades in the morning session, 6 to 10 trades for the day. I don't care what the day is doing. If I have more than 10 trades, then I've scalped it. It's either low wicky and shifty, or I've scalped too much. These are longer holds with retracements level to level. I mean, I can't make this stuff. Look at the level to level. So with that being said, what you have to do is understand what your max trade count is. If you understand what your max trade count is, when you begin to approach your max trade count, you should be wrapping up. You should be saying to yourself, all right, I'm getting ready to be done for the day, because the odds are not in your favor. So that's number 2. All right. The number one thing to look at to know, all right, I should stop trading, I'm done today, is something that you may not have thought about. You may not have calculated, and you should have these written down. You should develop the metrics. That's going to be unforced or forced errors. So your errors, right? We're not saying a losing trade. That's not what we're saying. We're talking about unnecessary, unforced errors, right? Error in judgment. So what do we mean? All right, let's demonstrate here. Okay, so a trader gets into a trade right here. They see this thing running up. They've not taken any of my training. They don't understand how reversals happen. They don't understand covers. They don't understand anything. Pools of liquidity, shifts in volume. They don't understand none of that. They've missed the entry down here, right? When the stock is just basing and then clearly off of a level, we get a move. We took this trade too. And then they get in and they try to catch the continuation right here, right? Right here, right? Maybe they're looking at the POC or another level, and they're like, I'm going to take this trade. And then all of a sudden this trade chips around and reverses on them, okay? So what we will call that's a bad trade, but it's also an error, okay? It's an error in judgment. You misread the stock. You have a very poor entry. You're not trying to get the continuation where the strength is. You're not trying to catch the continuation off the reversal. You're not trying to catch the continuation off of my levels, my indicators, nothing. You're just trying, you don't know what you're doing. When you make a lot of those, that's a poor trader. And when those start to compound, well, you're going to lose. So to get better, you've got to understand what your weaknesses are, and you've got to start writing them down. All right, I make a lot of forced errors when I fill in the blank. Now, I'll give you a tip right now. This is a tip that we cover in training. I'm going to help you right now, and you tell me if it's the truth or not. Most of you guys, at some point in your career, it may be now, you have a problem with continuation trades. So what you do is you try to scalp this little move right here because you don't understand, you don't know how to recognize when this thing is going to really rip. All you know is after there is a clear indication. You see that with so many YouTubers. There is a clear indication we're going down. Come on, man, right? And they jump in and post and say, oh, we're going to the moon, or we're going. Look, the trade is well underway. But if you can't recognize a trade down here, if you don't understand what a reversal looks like, and you start getting into continuations, if you look at your metrics, you'll notice that most of the time you get cooked on continuations. So the solution is to stop trading continuations or understand when to get in early, but also you've got to get those metrics. You've got to understand what is a forced and an unforced error. It doesn't matter which one it is, you have to have a max forced error count. Meaning, if I make 2 errors, I should be done for the day. I don't care if you made winning trades, because you know that's happened before. How many times have you gotten into a trade and you're like, whoo, I'm glad I made some money there. No. We don't do lucky windfalls. We don't do any of that kind of stuff in this Discord. You need to be specific with targets. You know, that's how I roll. Specific with reading the volume, specific with the VVP indicator, specific with understanding how the market's going to shift. And you take this thing level to level. So let's recap. What are the 3 things you need to understand? Let's go back to the futures real quick and talk about it there. What are the 3 things you need to understand? You need the 3 metrics for when you should stop trading, whether you're up or down. Number 3, max loss. You're not losing any more money. Once you see that, you need to cut it. All right, period. Number 2, max trade count. I've reached my trade count threshold for the day. I am done. You will now paper trade. Don't stop trading. Paper trade. We talk about why that's beneficial, and we talk about how to paper trade the Wealth Wells way in another video. You can go watch my paper trading video to understand that, or you can come into the Discord and get the real secret sauce. And then the number 1 metric is forced and unforced errors. We're not talking about a losing trade. If you take a trade down here, right? If you take a trade and the trade is a loser, right? You get on the wrong side of this thing, but your thesis, everything told you that this was going to be a good trade. That's just a loss. That's not an error. An error is you forced a trade. You try to get a continuation. You're not dialed in. You're not focused. You're none of those things. And so you need to stop. You need to be done. Those are the top 3 tips I'm going to give you. The 3 KPIs. There are more. Come into the Discord to find out the rest. But those are the 3 KPIs that I watch every single day. That's how I'm able to come out the day green. Period. Whether I come out with 1,000, 10,000, or 100 grand, I'm coming out green because I watch my max loss, max trade count, and unforced errors. So what do you need to do from here? That's a no-brainer. Come into the Discord, spend some time reading what others are saying about this Discord and how it's changing their trading careers. People are actually finding success. I have one of my 6-figure earners earn another 100K in shorter time this month. We're going to do an interview with him later in another day or on one of our Mindset Mondays to help you guys understand the disciplines that he's applying and others who are crushing it. And then flat out, folks, get training. All right. How to Day Trade with a Full-Time Job. The book is out at the end of the month. All right. 7-figure training. That is a special list of people. I will only work with a select group of people for that. That's a boot camp. It's pretty intense. Takes a lot out of me. I do that to push you. I've had a lot of people say, listen, Katie, I'm sick of being on the fence. I want to go to the next level. I can help you there. Get my setups. These setups are gold. Anybody can take them. You do not have to take them in order, but everything hangs on the core training right here from zero to hero, all the way down to the futures, from soup to dessert, to take you to the next level. This is Katie for the Wealth Wells. This is when to hold them and when to fold them. Know when to stop trading, whether you're up or down. I've given you 3 tips. Now put them to work. Katie for the Wealth Wells, signing out.